The birth of collaboration, designing for more than two. Qhapaq Ñan, Quispillacta, is the first lagoon achieved in the town of Duco, with a stone dam and a clay core, which construction began in 1994. Until today, it provides water to the families of the area and surrounding communities, even during the dry season. Here and in different parts of the world, indigenous people have developed valuable experiences. Their very existence faces imposed processes which, in the name of progress, have generated greater destruction in the communities. In Peru, in the last decades of the last millennium, the land has witnessed the cruel violence of the Shining Path and the armed conflict for almost 20 years. A period that was classified as the most cruel stage in Peruvian history. It was an attempt to destroy the notion of a living world, equivalence, nurture, agriculture, and the life in the Ayu. Despite the pain experienced, the children of the communities returned, and along with them, the waters and the Ayu. The Ayu is the community. The Ayu is the loving nucleus of extended kinship, raiser and vivifier of the farm. And Ayu has no fixed physical boundaries. But when you are in the community, you can say that you belong to the Ayu of your paternal surname, or to the Apu of reference, or to the sector in which you live. In the same way, the Ayu also follows the sinuous rhythms of the ways of man, as well as the seeds for sowing. The seed can fall on any land because it wants to visit other places. Like the man who travels to different territories, away from his family and community, in non-measurable distances of time and space, however, stubbornly, the seeds, although distant, generate lines. These lines generate connections, and these connections create new forms. In the end, the point is adjusted or enlarged. It is extended and it ends up multiplied. The Ayus are made up of this mutable matter. This extensive weave of work in community, or Ayu, is mutually sustained during mutual nurturing, which in itself is nothing more than the great social pact with nature and with the elders. Andean technology operates through this raising, which is the relationship of coexistence between person, animals, and mountains. Therefore, there is the raising of water, land, and livestock. The raising relationship is reciprocal, because while we raise, they also raise us. In the raising of water, the technique has to be well done and symbolically well directed through the rituals, because the creation of a lagoon takes a year, and in the process, water travels in the form of rain. It is supported in the highest areas of the hills by the dikes created by the local communities. Later, it filters to low areas, arriving at the puquiales, or also called eyes of water, where it is received by the party in its honor and is carefully connected with another 50 eyes of water. Then it appears on the surface, taking the name of bofedales or wetlands. Here, as water cushions, it provides habitat for local birds, gives water to livestock, and helps plant tubers without fertilizers. Finally, in some cases, it reaches the rocky areas, where it is collected by farmers for human consumption. While in the town, the men, women, children, and grandparents accompany it with symbolic and collective activities, such as the call and dispatch of the rain, by humans with cosmic force and from the places called eyes of water. The main events are Yarka Aspi, which is the raising of plants by authorities, children, and the elderly, and Pukyo Wakaichai, which is a cleaning between all for the protection and conservation of wetlands, which are considered the mouth of the Apus. Pukyo Wakaichai, as a ritual, is a state of conversation and renewal of collective life. In addition, for the wetland to operate as a good conductor, a family of plants must be planted. One of them is puttaca, also attributed with the nickname of collar of water. Its use allows large amounts of water to nest from the high areas of the valley to the lower and urban areas. The belief that the puttaca is the collar of water exemplifies the idea that Andean technology is based on the principle of horizontal relationships of complementarity and reciprocity, where the plant calls, the water comes, and the inhabitant sows. They form a dynamic of interdependence and symbiotic work interactions. On the other hand, the relationship between man and water in Western logic is based on a techno-scientific vision of the conduction of the resource through the mechanization and manufacture of pressure devices for its conduction. The operation of the plant is translated as an organic engineering system for the transfer of water. Its driving attributes from the dam to the eye of water, filtering from the eye of water to the wetlands, retention of the plant which holds the waters inside. In sum, the technique results in a connected and expanded biological organization that produces an underground weave for the transfer of water. In the past, traditional technology proposed a logic of things based on collective processes. At present, traditional technology is a justable hope for the drought caused by climate change, which causes so much damage in different parts of the world. The harvest of water restarted by the indigenous community of Quispillacta is an invitation of hope and wisdom to reinaugurate the almost extinct pact of reciprocity between all beings.